What up, man? It's your big brother K-Rino. Friday Night Live, and I'm actually not super late. So let's get it on. I'll wait for a second to see who shows up, and then we will get it cracking. We'll get it cracking, man. I got some serious stuff I want to go into today, and I'm gonna need y'all's help. I'll repeat that once we get some folks in the building, but I really mean it. I really mean it, man. I really mean it. I see Xavier. Glad to see you in the building. Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna need y'all's help on this one because I gotta make sure. Mike Cullen, what's going on? Robert K, you the third man. You the third one in the building. You Robert K, you done showed up. You showed up to the club early like Sniper used to do. You remember when Sniper used to get to the club about 8:30? Got Rapper K in the building early, man. But this topic tonight, man, I'm gonna need y'all help. I need y'all help because it's something that bothers me. And y'all see the title, but it has layers to it. None of the layers are good, in my opinion, but it does have layers to it. I'm gonna try to cover as many of them as I can think of to cover, and then whatever y'all can add to the conversation, feel free. Let's get it on. Y'all saw the beef that's going on with Megan Thee Stallion and Nicki Minaj. If y'all haven't saw it, it's going on. Y'all know I'm not a media guy like that. I'm not a guy who follows gossip. I'm not a guy who gets into the ins and outs of the goings on in the entertainment industry on those superficial levels. But as y'all know, anytime something crazy happens that I feel like I can pull a lesson out of, that I can present a lesson out of, then I will talk about it. And this is one of the things that kind of put this on my mind. Now, rap beef's been going on since day one. You can go all the way back to the beginning, and you can see where rappers have had problems with each other, and they've taken it to the records. They put it on wax all the way up to the digital era. There been rap beefs on turntables. Now it's rap beefs on digital platforms and things of that nature. So we've covered the whole spectrum, and over the years, you could probably name some rap records that have been really venomous in terms of the content that one rapper says to another. Some of the things that have been said, we could pull up rappers from any era and it's like, just some wicked stuff has been said, some hurtful stuff has been said. But usually those things are said to and about that rapper. Usually, I would say in most rap diss records, what would y'all say, about 85% of it is directed at the rapper that the other rapper is talking about? And there might be that little 15-20% that somebody might shoot a slug at his baby mama. They might say something about your baby mama. They might say something about your partner that rap with you. They may go in on some other things. They may talk about a couple of people in your crew, your neighborhood, or something like that. They may talk about how broke you are, or, Somebody wrote your rhymes for you. You know, they go into it. They may talk about y'all's personal relationship. Y'all had problems. Oh man, you know, you used to hang around me, and then you know, like there's all types of scenarios that you can pull out of a rap beat. But one of the things that I've always seen that seems to be a sensitive subject when it comes to rappers beefing, because normally people will say, man, when it comes down to a rap battle, it ain't nothing off limits. You got to take it. You got to deal with. You got to deal with it. And I'm gonna touch on that in a minute. But one thing that always seems to take it beyond just rap is if somebody talks about somebody's children, or somebody speaks about somebody in their family that's dead, somebody's deceased, and the rapper mentions that in a negative way. They shoot a slug at somebody's dead relative, dead homie, dead mother. In this case, mother being real sensitive topic. Like, so when I say that nothing is off limits and anything goes in a rap battle, I'm speaking in general, meaning that if back in my battle rap days, and Rapper K knows this to be a fact. I'm glad Rapper K is in here. Back in my battle rap day, and this mine, his, yours, whoever did it back in the days. We always had like a few rhymes that we kept in the holster that were our battle rap rhymes, because somebody who packs a pistol with them, they pack their protection. It's like anything might pop off, I got to be ready. We had the same thing with raps. So that was always 3 or 4 or 5 or 6, 7 rhymes that I had in my memory bank, that if I was at the mall, if I was at school, wherever I was at a club, if some popped off and somebody challenged me, or I challenged somebody else, I had rhymes that I could say. And some of those rhymes, I might have been known to talk about a mama or two here or there. But the rhyme was written with nobody in particular's mother in mind. It's just in general. I'll do this to your mama and make her do this and that. You know, you're just writing it because it's a dope line. It's a punchline. It's something you feel like when you encounter somebody, if you say it, it's for everybody. It ain't just specifically about this dude's mama, because I might have used that rhyme on that guy and talked about his mama today, but last week I might have said that same rhyme about another dude. So it's just in general. But the game changes when it's personalized. That's the difference. When it becomes personalized, even if the parent is not deceased, but maybe me and you was cool before. Maybe we grew up together and I knew your mother. Maybe your mother used to feed me when we came home from school. We would go to your house and your mama would make sandwiches and stuff for all of us. Then I'll turn around and I'll make a record when me and you fall out. I'll make a song when me and you fall out, and I'll say something negative about your mom. That changes things, because the rhyme I just said in general about some dude I don't really know, he knows that I don't know his mama, so he might not even take it like that. He might, some people, they'll get sensitive and take it like that. But for the most part, because if the shoe is on the other foot and I'm battling a stranger and he say something about my mom, I'm like, he's just saying a rhyme. That's what it is. But when it personalizes, that changes the whole mood, the whole weather change after the clouds get real dark after that. But to take it a step further, even if I don't have a relationship with you, me and you not cool, I don't know your mama, I don't know you like that, but I may know information about you. I may know information about your family. I may know information. I may know about your child. I may know about your mother. Your mother passed away, like in the case with Megan Thee Stallion. She lost her mother. So I don't even know the origin of the beef. I don't even know the origin of it. I don't know how it started, what sparked it off. I don't know how long it's been going on. I read that they had been kind of shooting little slugs at each other for years, and I'll get into another aspect of that later if I remember. But I want to be careful to make sure that I try to say this the right way. I'm not in favor of shooting slugs at somebody's dead relative, a dead mother or whatever. It's a certain line that I draw when it comes to battling, when it comes to rapping. Like, it's like, if I know your situation, and a lot of people do that for different reasons. Like, so in the case with Nicki Minaj, she said that Megan said something about her son or family. So that in some people's minds would justify and make it say, well, hey, well, she said something about her son, or she said something about her husband or whatever. So now all bets is off. It's all limit. I'm going to go after her dead mother. Now, in any event, people can look at it the way they look at it. People say, okay, well, if Megan personalized it to say something about her son or her dude or whatever, that's wrong too, blah, 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 especially if it goes into some personal stuff that was some sensitive issues, they could say that's wrong too. And I get that. If that's how it goes, I went down. But one thing about it, man, if the people you talk about, which in my mind, I know if anybody would say, well, man, that don't make it no better. But if the people that you say something about, if they're still around, then it may hurt, it may hit, but it's not going to hit the same as if somebody is gone. So my thing is, I just don't feel like it's cool to go after the dead like that, in those kind of situations, It's context where, certain people throughout history will be mentioned based on the atrocities that they may have carried out or something along that line. I'm not going to act like that's something that I wouldn't speak on, or I wouldn't do, But in rap music, I think there are certain things, even in battle, that are below the belt. So now it comes out that somebody posted a picture and a location of the grave site of Megan Thee Stallion's mother, and is urging people who were Nicki fans to go and do something disrespectful to the grave site of Megan's mother. That's beyond, bro. That's beyond. Because now you as a fan, which you're really not a fan, you're a fool, fanatic, you living up to the definition of fan, of a fanatic, you are taking a rap beef, which was made personal And now you've injected yourself into it when neither one of these people know you. Even the person that you supporting, even the person whose side you on, don't even know you. And you trying to put the key in somebody's back to go and disrespect the grave site of that person's mother. Now you cross over into being a different type of stupid. And I wish the fullest extent of punishment to a person that would do something like that. Because the problem is somebody that would move on that. It's somebody that would do it. It's somebody that would do it. See, people, man, y'all don't understand the levels of fanaticism that exists in the minds of some of these fans. Y'all don't know. It exists on so many levels. You got people who will say that they love an artist so much that it will make them want to kill the artist. They'll just stalk an artist and just, I love you so much, I'm going to kill you. Or they hate you so much that they want to kill you. Or they get sick, twisted fantasies in their mind about y'all just getting married or something. You done fell in love with this female singer. This female falls in love with something else, and you at home in your mind, y'all are in a relationship. So it's so many different levels to fanaticism, right? And people know this. So if you got an Instagram page where you may have 2 million followers, 1.5 million followers, whatever you got, the majority of those people ain't regular people. There's 2 million people now. I would say the majority of those people are regular people. They love your music. They follow you. They buy your stuff. They buy the merch. They come to the shows when they can come to the shows. But it's a percentage of those people who are just flat out nutty as a fruitcake, right? And even if that percentage consists of 1,000 people out of 2 million, you may say, well, that's not a lot out of 2 million, but that's independent of itself. 1,000 people is a lot of people. And out of those 1,000, it only takes one to act on it. Whatever it is, it only takes one to act on it. So in the case of a lot of rap beefs and a lot of confrontations and altercations, it's very rare when the actual rappers are going to bump heads physically with each other. It's always somebody either in the entourage, it's always a fan, it's always somebody from the different neighborhoods, somebody who picked a side. It's always somebody like that end up shooting somebody, end up getting shot, end up jumping on somebody, end up actually doing the work. Nicki and Megan ain't gonna fight. It's not gonna happen. I guarantee you. I'll be shocked if I'm wrong. They're not gonna fight. It's too many parts around them. It's too many buffers around them. It's too much insulation. You know, they're insulated within walls of protection and people and handlers and things of that nature. To where anything that's going to happen, it's going to happen from a distance. It's going to happen verbally. But it'll be some other fool, like the fool that's trying to urge Nicki fans to go and do something to the grave of that woman's mama. Now, I have been in situations where people have said stuff the where, or either I may, even if I wasn't in a situation, I may play the scenario in my mind where I might say, okay, how would I handle that if that was me? Because I think it's wise to do that. If you was watching something on TV, watching something on the news, you hear about somebody tell you something personally about somebody they knew that did this, or it's wise for you to put yourself in the scenario just to see, or try to think about, if that was you, how would you handle it? Now that don't mean whatever conclusion you come to, or whatever answer you come up with, that don't mean you would actually handle it like that in the moment, because we could say what we're going to do in a situation, but when you in that situation, you might do something totally different. So I could tell you, say, man, no, bro, don't do it, man. Nah, man, it ain't worth it, man. No, come on, bro, come on, don't do it. Because I'm on the outside looking in, speaking from a rational mind, trying to stop you from doing something irrational, right? But then 2 weeks later, I'm in a situation and I flip out. And you're like, man, he was just telling not to, now he pistol whooping somebody. Because you just don't know. But you should still put yourself in a position and create scenarios and options in your mind how you should handle it, just in case you do. So if it does come to that, you're not shocked in the moment, and you may not be so reactive. You may think, well, you know what, I had this conversation with myself. Because you always got to think about everybody else around you when you were in a situation. Because we live in a world where they ain't got to get you. They'll go get somebody close to you. And in anger, people will get you. A lot of time they'll get you. But the strategic ones, they know, oh, it's going to hurt him more if I kill his daughter. It's going to hurt him more if I do something to his mama or his wife. See? Those are the ones who think on a different kind of level. But all this behind music, two successful artists, and we've seen it with the male, the male rappers invented this type of crap. And these days, with a lot of the younger artists, unfortunately, we seeing them, they get bumped off left and right behind the same type of flexing that they try to do. Now it's social media. I get on Instagram, pull up. I'm at 2306 Market Street. Come on, pull up. I'm right here. Pow, 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 pow. Like, so it's real dangerous, man. Because those innocent rap beats from the 80s, them days over. Them days over where you just make a record and, well, I'll come into your party and knock you out. You don't know what rapping is all about. Like, you're real innocent back then. But now, the stakes is high, man. But I'm a person who believes that, we have to do our best. And when I say we, I mean you and me. We got to do our best to, as the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, to rise above emotion into the thinking of God. Now, that's easy to say, but a lot harder to do in a moment. But I don't believe in disrespecting the dead like that. I think that crossed a line. And I know what y'all thinking. Some of y'all might be saying, well, man, if she talked about her child and she said something about that, crossed the line too. I haven't heard that yet. I haven't heard any verification of that. But I did hear the disrespect to the dead mother. That's just off limits to me, man. Because now it's not even about the rap battle no more. Now it's about cutting deep. And I just know that people don't always take into consideration the fact, hey man, look, if your mother is still with you, you can't relate to somebody whose mother is not. But also, you don't know if or when a time might come when your mother is not with you anymore. And regardless of what the situation is, I don't think that you would want nobody to go there with your dead mother, your dead relative. That's just me. Let me read what y'all are talking about. I'm not reading anything that's off this subject. If y'all talking about gumbo recipes and all this different stuff, sometimes y'all get to tend to just be in your own little world, not speaking about what we're talking about. I'm not even going to acknowledge those comments. We gonna stay on subject because y'all just some of y'all, not all, I'm gonna say all of y'all, but some of y'all just be in here just talking about stuff that just totally irrelevant. It's in your own world. Mike Cullen makes an interesting point. He say, I haven't heard this word in a while. You saying it's a psyop? I haven't heard that in a while. Rad Love says that beef is crazy. And it's females, man. I mean, I hate to see it. I went all the way up to the top. I'm working my way down. Locomotion says that ain't the right direction of what it's supposed to be. Wrong energy. Redirect while you teaching about this subject because it'll get worse literally. Well, I'm locomotion. I'm treading lightly. I'm trying to dance real delicate because what I also don't want to do, I don't want to I don't want to say nothing to contribute to division among, it's already divided, but I don't want to contribute to the division. I don't want to make it seem like I'm picking a side or anything. If I pick a side, it won't be based on an individual. It will be based on principle. So that's all I'm saying. Erica says they are trying to separate Megan from her money. She is very successful. That's why other beefs happened. like in the case with 50 and Ja Rule. Um, the one thing that I've noticed on a mainstream level and on an independent level is that, number one, it's enough money in this for everybody. But I also know that what an artist generates is not necessarily what they take in for themselves, because there's a bigger enemy than the one we looking at each other. And who would profit the most off of a Nicki Minaj, Megan Thee Stallion beef? Who's going to profit the most from that? Now, if they make a song, like Megan got a song, I don't know, did Nicki come back with a song? If they make 2 or 3 songs back and forth about each other, then they'll generate money off the song, put it on YouTube, release it on the digital platforms, whatever. Money will be generated and made, but nobody's going to make more money off of this than the labels and the entities that distribute and release both of their music. And God forbid something bad happens to either one of them, because we've seen that play before. If something happens to an artist, record sales, and who benefits from that? The owner of the music, which is usually some record labels who have no concern for either one of these artists. And if they die, they're worth more dead than they are alive, and they'll generate all this money, then they'll move on to the next one. So we don't know. I don't even know the origin. Like I say, I don't even know the origin. If somebody knows the origin of the beef, let me know. I'm trying to read y'all comments, but as usual, there's a few people in here that are just talking about, I have no idea what y'all are talking about. Do y'all just come in and say just, okay, K-Rino is on live. Let me go on here and just say everything that was on my mind to say all day long. I want to talk about this TV show I saw earlier. I want to talk about my favorite shirt. I mean, just all over the place. That is insane to me. All Nicki fans did was expose themselves for being deplorable. Well, I'll say this, Erica. We can't put that on all of her fans. We can't do that. Because again, like I said, if somebody got millions of followers, the majority of them are just regular people. But it only takes it only takes 5 or 6 of them, or to go extreme. Now, to your point, it may be 1,000 of them in the comments saying stupid stuff, but they're not gonna act on it. They just are trying. See, because we live in a day and age where everybody, where people will ride with the person they support, right or wrong, and we have to get out of that. We have to get out of that, man. I could be the biggest fan of an artist. I could be the biggest fan of an athlete. I could be the biggest fan of an actor, entertainer, anybody, or politician on any field. But if they do something out of pocket, man, I can't, and we shouldn't, just because we got love for them, just turn a blind eye and act like everything that they do is right because I like them. Man, he shouldn't have slapped that girl. That girl just walked up and wanted to hug him because she was a big fan. Well, she should have knew better. He a star. You can't just walk up. He should have slapped her. Nah, shouldn't have slapped her, man. Diego says music fans are dangerous. Charles Manson came up with Helter Skelter from a Beatles song. Yeah. And influence is a real thing, man. See, look, and see, we got to be careful, man, because you could be so mad, but you know you're not gonna bust a grape. But you know you got these people that follow you that will. So Charles Manson, that's like that reminds me of that influence. It's a form of manipulation to where, hey man, I know I got all these people following me. I can just say, okay, I got soldiers behind me, so you better watch your back, because we can find out. I got people that can find out where you live. So you planting seeds, you putting stuff in the atmosphere. You're not saying it, but you saying it. So somebody go, okay, yeah. Can't do that, man. Reading y'all's comments, man. And to disrespect, bro, why do people make mockery and clown people? There's two things that just baffle my mind that I see people clown people over and make mockery about. They make mockery about people that are dead or people that have lost loved ones, and they make mockery about people who are old. It's like one of the first things, oh, you old, you old, you old. I want to hear your old self say about. But these are two things. One out of the two things are absolutely guaranteed. So if you're making mockery about somebody that's dead or somebody's mama that's dead, like you gonna live forever, you going down that road too one day. So is your mother. So is your child. So is your dog. So is your uncle. All the people you care, you going down that road too. So why do people foolishly and stupidly laugh and talk crazy about people who have lost loved ones, or talk crazy about the deceased person themselves? Like it can't happen to you. And they talk about people getting old. Like, now you ain't guaranteed to get old. But some of the same people that make mockery of people that are old, they eventually get there. I used to hear people say that about rappers all the time. Yeah, man, all these old rappers out here, y'all should have been let it go. Y'all should have been let it go. Yeah, that was 20 years ago. You was 19. Now you close around 40 and you still rapping too. Now you the old. Now you one of the old ones. It's just not smart to disrespect people about something that you can't even escape. Let me give y'all the rules again, man. Anytime y'all see me on live and there's a topic title, we on that topic. The only time I'm gonna address things outside of that topic is if I do what I call an open topic. And what's going to happen is, man, see, it's already happening. The media and the people are going to put logs on the fire. Because now, again, we're going to divide down the middle and pick sides. We're going to pick sides. Everybody that rides with Nikki going to say she's right and she's justified. Everybody's going to ride with Megan and they're going to say she's right, she's justified. And don't nobody win. Don't nobody win in the end. You just create a climate for something bad to happen, man. So my prayer is that this blows over time and people can move on. Because I mean, I've seen female rap beefs before. Dudes ain't the only ones who have had beefs in rap. I can go through the history. I've been around almost since the beginning. So yeah, women have had beefs, but it was more rap. When I say it's more rap, it was just more so, oh, she thought she was a better rapper than me. Sparky D and Shantae. That was about who was the better rapper. MC Light and Antoinette. That was about who was the better rapper. I'm going way back. When you get into that personal stuff, man, that's dangerous, man. And again, a lot of times people will talk bold and hard, not based on what they'll do. It's based around what they believe the people around them will do. I got this bodyguard. I got these partners that's always with me. I got this member of the entourage. I got this crazy homeboy, homegirl. Your courage, and a lot of times, is coming from what you got around you. It ain't you. Because if it's you, somebody might say, and I'm not speaking about them in this, but I'm just speaking in general. Somebody might say, well, look, man, if y'all got this issue with each other, man, why not just, well, let's get a boxing charity thing going, man. Let y'all just get in the ring, fight it out. We'll sell tickets to it, make money, give the money to charity, and some people can benefit off of this. And somebody go, man, I ain't worried about that food. I ain't finna do that. Why you ain't worried about it now? Because now you're isolated. Now it's just you and them. You've been called out for it to be just you and them. But on the record, on the social media platforms, you talk, yeah. Come on, man. And then I'm another thing, and I'm another thing that I think is that being that saying stuff like that, man, disrespect to somebody dead mom or dead child or dead this or dead that, man. In my opinion, you place a bad energy on yourself. You are casting out an energy that's gonna that will revisit you. That's just my opinion. If I felt like somebody disrespected my family, I would address that. I tried to make it a habit of keeping the controversy or keeping the beef in its proper context, right? Meaning that if you said I was a trash rapper, then okay, I'm gonna come back at you on the levels of how trash I think you are as a rapper. I'm not gonna go into, well, I heard your baby mama used to be a prostitute. Cause we ain't on that. We strictly rap. If you say something about my baby mama, okay, I might give you one back. But I just don't like the energy that comes with. It's just dangerous, man, for everybody. I don't want to see nothing happen, man. Jovan says sensationalized toxicity on the media. Yeah, and I agree, because the media capitalizes on the issue, because everybody wins in these beefs except for the people who get caught up in it. Everybody wins. The media wins. TMZ wins. All of the YouTubers win. See, that's why that's why I knew I was going to talk about this. But if you notice, I didn't put pictures of them. I probably could have got a few more views if I would have just said, okay, man, let's discuss this Nicki Megan thing and have a split screen of them. And I go into that. That may have attracted a few more people to come on this live. But I'm not trying to add fuel to that fire. That's not my objective by speaking on it. I'm speaking on it from the angle of, dude, this is dangerous. And not just speaking about them, speaking to us. The dozens of people that's on here right now speaking to us, like, because that don't just happen in entertainment. It's regular people running around here saying horrible things about somebody's dead mama, and that's why your baby died. That's why I'm glad your mama got shot in the face. People saying that, regular folks saying that type of stuff. Like your baby can't die. Lou Hybrid says, I think Nicki Minaj is the biggest influence of the biggest generation. She definitely has influence, just like Megan got influence. That's the hard part about it, man, because you got two heavyweights, two greats going at it. And again, it forces people to pick a side. And this is beyond this ain't hip hop, man. This beyond hip hop, bro. This has stepped out of the realm, the circle of hip hop. This is man, this is some personal stuff, man. People say, oh, this is hip hop. Yeah, you made a rap song. I'll make a rap song about each other, but man, look, bro. Think about probably the most venomous mainstream beef in hip hop to date. I'm sure y'all can tell me who that is. What was the most venomous, controversial hip hop beef in history? Ralph Arm, I appreciate the love and the donation, man. I appreciate that. Bluntimus Prime, one time. Pac and Big. The biggest beef in rap history was Tupac and Biggie, right? I want not even Jay-Z and Nas, Lou. Not even Jay-Z and Nas wasn't bigger than Pac and Biggie. That beef wasn't big as Pac and Biggie. And the proof of that is where I was going with my point, is that what ended up happening to Pac and Biggie? Now, we can get into the speculation of other entities being involved, government, law enforcement, all that. But at the root of it, man, both of them gone. Because the tension got so extreme that unfortunately neither one of the parties involved were able to make it out, and neither one killed the other one. It was other people that did it. So now you fast forward, you got two sisters, you got two females, two black women that are legit hip hop international superstars, right? And you could argue that the reach and the range was bigger than Pac and Biggie because of the era that we live in. We live in the social media era. So you can argue that Nicki and Megan's range is a lot bigger because there wasn't no Instagram. Wasn't no YouTube and Twitter and all this back in the days of Pac and Biggie. And we never got a chance to see what the average Joe, what their opinion was on Pac and Biggie. We just assumed that if you was on the West Coast, you was riding with Pac. If you was on the East Coast, you was riding with Biggie. And everybody in the middle was kind of like, whatever. Now you can get a clear-cut understanding of everybody's opinion of who they riding with. But the moral of the story is both of them brothers is gone. They didn't die of old age. They didn't get, they didn't have a heart attack. They got murdered. I would hate to see something like that happen to any one of these women, man. Yeah, low, the truth. Game and 50 was big. Game, Nas and Jay-Z, that was big. You go way back. LL and Kumo D was big for his time, but none of it was bigger than Pac and Biggie, because all the people you naming, they still around. And the beef dissipated. It faded. Jay-Z and Nas ended up working together. See, because in those beefs, it was not, and some of those beefs now, you know, it's some personal dislike, but it never escalated to the point where it was like, shh, kill one of these niggas. Now 50 and Ja Rule kind of got close to that. They still don't really like each other, but they still out here vertical. 50 and Ja Rule still vertical. So we gotta be careful, man. Don't let your emotions and your anger cause you to go somewhere. When I say go somewhere, I mean verbally and mentally and verbally and on and recording. Don't cause that to make you go somewhere that you might not be able to come back from. It's like pushing sin on a message. Once you say it, it'll just send it. You can't unsend. Do that? Have they come out with the technology yet to unsend a text or email? I know you can delete a comment. You can delete a tweet. You can delete an Instagram post. Well, we got that. Okay, cool. And y'all are naming people, but trust me, and y'all naming legit situations. But my point is, nobody that y'all naming is dead. So you can say, Ja Rule and 50. I just saw another one. Yeah, man. I mean, we want to keep it that way, man. But don't make fun of people who are dead, man. Who lost their relatives. Don't do that, man. Don't do that. And the only reason I'm harping on that, because it might come off like, well, why are you just talking about that? I have not verified or heard where Megan said something about Nikki's children. I heard that was done, but I have not heard it. I don't know. That's why I ain't going in on something that I didn't know. And the reason why people do that, like I say, man, it's in people's mind, it's about winning. And winning means I'll say anything that I think is gonna make it seem like I one-upped you. So if you say this about me and I find out your mom is dead, because I know that's gonna bother you. That's gonna get you. And you got a lot of cats out here that do that. It's too many people in the world, man, that they say stuff about people that they would go crazy if somebody said the same thing or did the same thing to them. They would go crazy. They can talk about your family, but you better not say nothing even on a lower level than what they said about you. It's all right for them to do it. Bringing that bad energy, bro. And egos will put you in a bad position. If you're not able to keep your ego in check, your ego will lead you down a road of destruction, because your ego will gas you up to make you believe that you have to address this and deal with this in this way. Because if you don't, it's gonna make you look lesser than. You're not gonna be you. You're not gonna be the greatness of you. Man, better check your ego, man. Check your ego. Joe Vaughn says Megan Thee Stallion is just a replication of Nicki Minaj. Well, my thing is, I don't want people to misunderstand. I'm not going into the artistic aspect of it. That's not what I'm on. Doesn't matter. A lot of the female rappers that are out here um have capitalized due to what the industry pushes it and promotes them to do to make money and for an agenda. They've capitalized on the over sexualization of themselves and all that. There's just that exploitative aspect. We know that goes way back before them, because to say that Megan is a replication of Nicki, who is Nicki a replication of? See, we can go before that was a Nicki, that was a Lil Kim. So that's not the point. I'm at the root. I'm going to the root. I'm talking about two Black women who came from humble beginnings long before they was Barbies and whatever Megan's followers are, long before they was any of that, long before money, long before Instagram follow, long before any of that. At the root, these are young women, still young women, that they were young women who loved to rap, who fell in love with the game and was trying to just come up and make a way for themselves, make a way for their families, whatever. And just what I said a minute ago, ego, entourage, industry, media, all of these factors that fuel the fire in terms of making, well, I got to say this, I got to say that. It creates an atmosphere that's dangerous for them, for their family, everybody. I'm going to the root. Don't matter who's, forget artistically. Who are you at the end of the day? See, you step on that stage, we see you on the video, we see you in the interview, we see you on the red carpet, we see you at the Grammys, we see you in the evening gown, and we see you. Who are you when you go home? When everybody leave, when the bodyguard say you good, okay, the security drive off, and you're in your house, and it's just you. Who are you then? A lot of times, I'm not talking about them, I don't know them, but I'm saying a lot of cases, they unhappy, they depressed, they lonely, they insecure, they don't trust nobody, they don't know who they can trust, they feel trapped. Some of them on dope, some of them feel under pressure because I gotta keep living up to this image. I got to do this. Everybody gassing me up. I got people depending on me. I got a payroll. I got this person. I got to do this. It's a lot. See, it's a lot because they have immersed themselves into an industry that is historically known for 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 chewing you up and spitting you out, using you up till you have nothing else in you. And from the outside looking in, too many of our young people who want to be artists, want to be actors and actresses and all that, too many of them, they see everything that I just said. They see the red carpet. They see the jury and the clothes and the cars and they see the lifestyle. But you see it in flashes. Wow, you saw a 3-minute video where they were just balling out, making life seem like it was the greatest thing. You saw a TikTok clip where they were just balling out. Instagram video, pictures on the gram. Everybody is just rich and happy. And I can't say all of them. Some of them are rich and happy. Some of them totally enjoying that lifestyle. But a lot of them get in there and they realize, man, this ain't what I thought it was going to be. This is why the system was never intended for us in the first place. Absolute truth. What's up, B? 11th Hour Entertainment. Trying to live up to a false image must be exhausting, mentally exhausting. Because you're going to spend all your time just twerking and talking about how nasty he is in the bed with your man and all. I'm like, it's an image. Ralph says, rappers for so long have used any tactic for clout, and Ben was specifically created just for clout. And when they speak of the dead in a beefing type platform, honestly, those dead would probably say, you don't go there, man. I'm sorry, man. You don't go there, man. I always have had conversations with people in my little days of having little situations with people, man. And if something was to, God forbid, was to ever happen with somebody I've had a beef with, man, I could be in the middle of that beef. Once they pass away, man, I'm done. All bets is off. I'm through. I'm through talking about it. That's what they get. Yeah. I'm glad. Nah, man. No. You can't let your bitterness, your anger, your hate, whatever it is you may have for that person, you can't let that it has to have, to some degree, depending on what it is, in its rap stuff. I like to believe that it will have an expiration date at some point. At some point. The expiration date would be for me the day I hear one of my rap enemies had an untimely demise. Because I've never hated anybody that I got into it with. And I'm just speaking for myself. I could think of everybody that I ever battled, anybody I ever had a beef or issue with. I never hated any of them, like hate them to where I wish something terrible on them. I never felt like that. Instinct Hip Hop makes a good point. Seen cases of some rappers starting beefs on IG Live for more followers, but they were fake, and then the people they diss hunted them down. Yeah, I talked about that earlier, where you can ignorantly call that type of energy to yourself. You got to be careful with that. If you're trying to present, whether you're trying to portray an image or not, some people really is about that life, but you still bringing negative energy to yourself. No matter if you ain't running from it or ain't ducking it, you still bringing it. But some people, like Instinct just said, You faking it. You trying to portray an image. You on the gram acting like you a gangster and talking to, yeah, man, yeah, we out here. That's not even who you are. Fool, you live in a gated community somewhere. You had all the benefits growing up. Your mom was a neurosurgeon, and your dad worked at NASA. They're like, come on, man, quit acting like you from that. It's not nothing to be boastful about. The people who really from that, they hate it. Some of them are ignorant still. They glorify, but come on, man. But the point that he's making is that people use social media for promotional purposes because they are under the understanding, well, yeah, you know what? Controversy sells. Just like a lot of the female rappers know, sex sells. So let me be the nastiest, raunchiest thing I can be. The labels love that. They'll sign me. But neither of those things, that violent lifestyle, that violent image, that the whole image, ain't none of that sustainable, bro. It's not sustainable. So you have to, how many rappers came in like that? See, I know the history of this thing. So how many rappers came into this industry that were on that? I don't care if you say NWA. I don't care if you say the Ghetto Boys. I don't care if you say, just had somebody on the edge of my mind. Boogie Down Productions, Ice-T, all of these rappers who would be considered like forefathers or forerunners or pioneers of what they call gangster rap, right? They transitioned out of that type of content. And in my opinion, they lived as a result of it. So you can go back and listen to a record that Ice-T made in '88. But if you look at Ice-T now, he play on CSI. What's the name of the TV show he play on? You can go listen to Gangsta Gangsta by Ice Cube. But look at Ice Cube now. Ice Cube is a successful movie producer, movie writer. He's an activist. He's fully immersed in matters of the Black community, and he's a businessman. Come on, man. We are supposed to mature as we get older. So the wise ones realized, how I look being 48 years old, still talking about being on the block with my Glock in my hand, waiting for one of these. Come on, man. You grow up. So you don't wait. I mean, you don't wait until you get to a certain age. At a certain point, certain things and certain conversations and the entertainment and the engagement in certain conversations should be beneath you at a certain point in your life. That's just the reality. And if you do participate and engage with what we call beefs, you make sure that they are innocent beefs, not nothing that is going to escalate into something dangerous for you or your family. The rappers I named are fathers and grandchildren and grandfathers now. So how do you look now? The ones that don't make it out are either the ones that got caught up when they were really, really young, they never got a chance. Maybe they would have, if they could escape that one last little situation, they may have got out. I think about that with Pac all the time. I always wonder if Pac would have matured. Somebody said Flip and T.I. Perfect examples. You have your little situations, man. But now, come on, man. You grow, you live and learn. You start to prioritize the things that are most important. You start to realize that you are not just living for you. I made a video about that one time, and that was the title, you're not just living for you. You're not just living for you. So that would be my message to Megan and Nikki. Now, here's the deal. They wouldn't give a crap about my opinion. But that don't make it a bad opinion. That doesn't make it something that shouldn't be taken into consideration and heeded. Let that go, man. Let that go. You ain't got to be best friends. Clearly you wasn't. But don't let this escalate. Let it escalate, man. I would hate, no, I'm not even say that. Some of these artists are forced into beef by the powers that be, all because of that controversy sells nonsense, and many times real fans lose respect for these guys. I feel that kind of may happen. Well, like I said, whether the powers that be initiated or not, they definitely. How many, bro? I'm glad you said that. How many times have we seen a record label or heads of record label executives? Please inform me, y'all. Has there ever been an instance where a record label executive or a record label has intervened in a rap beef and came out publicly and said, hey, we got to stop this. We're not going to let this happen. I've never seen it. You don't even hear about it. Think about that for a minute. All the beefs that have ever went on in rap. When have you ever seen one of these CEOs or the CEO, hey, this guy beefing with that guy, this guy's on my label, or this guy's on my label. Hey, man, hey, let's get together with these guys and blah, 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 and fix this. You ain't never seen that. Because like I said, you worth more dead. They own your masters. Prince tried to teach us about that years ago. They own the music. So they sitting around, the conversations that they probably have are, yeah, if these two niggas kill themselves, we're going to be sitting in, we're going to be making some bread. And if one of them get killed and the other one don't, the one that's got the one on the label that live, they going to be mad like, man, yours died. Boy, you finna get that money. Boy, I wish mine would have died. I wish my artist would have died. Whoo, man. See? That's a telltale sign right there that there has never been an intervention by a record label to stop these beefs. Never. You've seen activists do it. You've seen people like Minister Farrakhan step in and bring the rappers together and squash beefs. You've seen that. They don't care. So that alone should be something that should raise the antenna of a Megan, of a Nikki, to say, okay, you know what, we said some stuff, man. We both said some stuff, but what we can't do is let this thing escalate, because it's not good for us and our families. It's not good for our culture. It's not good for hip hop. It's not good for our fan bases. It's not good. Nobody wins, bro. Nobody wins. And we repeat the cycle over and over again. We constantly, what they say, the names change, but the game remains the same. We constantly repeat the cycle all the time. Decade after decade, there's new faces in the same places. And we never learn. We never learn. Then God forbid somebody lose their life. We got a t-shirt. Now we doing a tribute. Man, that was a beautiful tribute, wasn't it? Come on, TMG. The record labels put life insurance policies on the rappers. See, a lot of people don't know that. So they cashing out. When you check out, they cash out. Shout out to TMG. Was that Trap Mob Gods, for bringing that to our attention. The record labels have insurance policies on these reckless rappers in the event that they pop off and get knocked off. They make money. How the record label got an insurance policy on you and your mama don't? How does that work? What are the details of that? Is there a different kind of policy? How is it that Universal can have a policy on this guy, but his wife don't? Diego said it's always more sheep than shepherds. But it's a scripture that says, woe to the shepherd that feeds himself and not the flock. So it ain't about the sheep and the shepherd. It's about what kind of shepherd is leading the sheep. So one says too much pride. That's another word I forgot. Pride. Foolish pride. You got to put it aside, because pride is the reason why a lot of folks died. You got to be able to humble yourself, man, for the bigger picture. And we can't say who gonna get smoked. TJ Lee, we don't know. We pray that they don't, but it's like, you know what, TJ? I get disturbed, man, when I see people invite that kind of energy to themselves, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say names, man. I just see too many people. They just invite that kind of, and it amazes me, because it's like they speak it in a way like this can't happen to you. It's like, dude, you going in that hard, like Like you invincible, man. Like you made out of like you Superman or somebody. Israel Castillo. A lot of our Houston rap legends are gone because of beef and could not get out of there. Like we haven't lost a lot though, Israel. We ain't lost a lot of rappers in our city because of beef. You could probably name a couple, but for the most part, nah, we didn't lose a lot of for rappers beefing with. There's a lot of our local artists have had little spats with each other, but we don't really rock like that. We have we done had our little stuffs here and there with different people and different little cliques and crews and individuals and all that, but you can't just name too many instances where this rapper got into it with that rapper in the H and now boom. Especially none of the what we would call the heavyweights. But there has been some little stuff here and there. If somebody dies, man, whatever you had with them, let it go. And I'm not saying, you may speak on it. You may say, well, yeah, man, we weren't the best of friends or whatever, whatever. But that's different than going out your way to keep just piling on slander on them. That's a different ball game. It's dangerous, man. Hey, y'all drop y'all locations, man. Let me give y'all some shout outs. Piper File, I see you, man. God is great. Drop y'all locations, man. Piper File is in Oregon. Instinct is in Cape Town, South Africa. My brother Jimmy is in Alabama. Nocturnal in Rochester, New York. Brandon in Wisconsin. TJ Lee, Sacramento in the building. Shatterstar Games, H-Town North Side. Come on, B. I know you're not in no El Paso. You can't fool me. Is that Hella Hex in Wisconsin? Rare Love, Oak Cliff, Texas. Sean Price, North Jersey representing. Severiano Lopez in Galveston, Southeast. It's raining, man. All my people in H-Town and Galveston, y'all getting this rain? I hear it outside my window. Yeah. Drop your locations. I'll shout y'all out, man. Renee, is that Renee Grulex? Trois Riviere, Quebec. That's in Canada, y'all. Hope I pronounced that right. In Sac, but my heart is in Memphis. R.I.P. Dolph. Yeah, R.I.P. to all the fallen, man. It's ridiculous, man. These retaliations and all that, man. It's like, but I'm gonna say something, man. Look, when you that reckless with human life and respect for human life, man, you know they say God don't like ugly. He also don't like that recklessness. You didn't give life to be taking it like that. Byron Kearney is in Corpus Christi. TMG Zuni Reservation. Where's that at? What's up, Jay? Appreciate the love. Hey man, y'all subscribe to the Underground Dialogue podcast. Go check out our latest episode, interview with the King of the Ghetto Zero. Our next interview, should I tell y'all who it's gonna be? Or should I just wait? I think I'm gonna wait. I ain't gonna tell y'all who it's gonna be. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. I ain't gonna tell y'all who the next interview is, but that's what's up, B. Hit me up. Brandon say, who's the name? I was gonna tell y'all, but I'm gonna wait, man. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. It won't be long though. Y'all will know by technically it's Saturday, right? So y'all will know by Monday. Y'all will know by Monday. All right. So it won't be long. I have no problem with regular diss tracks. I grew up battling, man. I've said some horrible things to rappers before in my life. Don't disrespect the dead, man. You don't want to try to cut nobody like that. All right, y'all, man. I'm gonna let y'all make it. I appreciate the love. Y'all subscribe to the channel. Those of y'all who are already subscribed, I appreciate y'all. Those of y'all who are new, who popping in, just I see a lot of new names every time I come on. Y'all make sure y'all stick around. Don't be one hitter quitter. The only way I can accept y'all just being one timers is if you visit the channel and you just ain't feeling the content. That's totally respectable. You might come on and say, man, I ain't feeling nothing this dude talking about, man. And you don't want to hang around. I respect that. But if you like where your big brother be going with it, um, subscribe and turn your notifications on. Let's build it up. Let's build it up. I need regulars. I got regulars. I need more regulars. I appreciate all my homies that I always see on here all the time that show love, and my homegirls that always show love, man. So it is what it is. All right, man. It's your big brother K-Rino. I'll catch y'all later on. Peace.